Hello.
Oh shit.
Oh wow, so much noise. It's like
Oh.
oh wow, so much noise. It's like we're at a construction site or something. Wow. Oh shit.
Who that? Who that?
Oh my god. All right, back to normal now. We are back to normal and welcome back. Welcome to the welcome.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Now I've got two.
All right, GJ ran a train here.
Yeah, G8. If it gets above where it's at now, it's got nothing for like 30 pips. Same as GJ almost. It just got a little more room. Yeah, Jesus. Did you guys trade yesterday during New York?
No.
No, man.
Oh, okay. I didn't think so because I didn't see anything, but I was sleeping, so I don't know.
Morning.
So basically, gold is now in this range. I'm also seeing a move down on gold rather than up right now because it's already moved up so much. Like a break above 1588 would be perfect, but a little bit of a retracement, to fill the gap would be pretty good too. So we'll have to wait.
You don't think we'll see a retest of the weekly resistance on gold?
Mm-hmm. And what price is that? What price do you see?
1590?
Yeah, that makes sense.
About 25 pips away?
Yeah, it's just above that resistance it made here this morning since London session. GJ on the other hand, man, I would love to buy GJ again at like 142,800 area. If GJ can come down to 142,800, this will be a great buy. You know, right now it's moving bullish. It's at this sort of like a resistance area. Just not much confirmation to take buys. I mean, yeah, not much confirmation at all. You could argue that there's this clean candle here to the left, and like, you know, as price is moving up, it should fill this clean range, but you know, the confirmation is not there, or just too aggressive. So gonna have to wait in that case too. Might end up risking to miss this move up to 143, 250, 240. But you know, don't think I'm going to be able to bite this biscuit by risking it, because it's just too much of a risk. Can you post Zoom ID in text chat? Thanks. No. Hold on. Just one moment. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for this candle to close here. How much time we got? 20 minutes. 20 minutes left. Oh, Nathan Rodriguez sent a chart. What's this? UJPY. High formed. Gladiator candle broke wick through the 4-hour resistance. Where is it? This one? Trade candle and that's in anticipation of retest of previous high. Ooh, almost got it. Yeah, it looks good. I think at this point I'd probably move my stops down below the 30-minute candle. Like, you know, so that now if you expect it to continue moving bullish, then the next candle shouldn't go below this area here.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I'll do that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Roger.
We'll be really watching GJ here, either to take buys if the next candle breaks the high of this current one all the way to 143,200, or if it closes back in, we'll be looking for it to create some sort of a support around 142, 920, 900. The best optimal buys would be at 142, around like 800-ish. So we're gonna wait for that. Wait for one of those two things to happen. Should be good. Should be good. There has been a lot of positive data for the pound. Also, there's been like a bunch of like, you know, these news here too, which pushed up the pound too. So I'm not sure how like, you know, how economy driven these news are. Like, you know, how, like if they're gonna have like a long-term economic effect. If they don't have long-term economic effect, then probably, like, you know, this move is probably gonna get kind of like, we're gonna have some sort of a correction here. So that move down to 142,800 would make sense. But so far, you know, this candle is trying to close above this resistance area on the.
Yeah, I just took GA buys on the 15. Kind of the same as GJ.
Nice.
Hey, Lo.
Hey.
I think we might get an aggressive push in gold. I don't know. It'll be very it'll be very hard to gauge that move up on gold now more because, like, you know, China is like trying to lay low on the tariff, like they're looking to remove tariffs. So when they're looking to remove tariffs, that might give a little push on the US dollar. Oh, hello. All right. Mute. Yeah, see, China to offer trade war exemptions on U.S. American energy products and coronavirus, right? So this means now they're trying to lay off the tariffs. So this should not push gold up. We might see a push down, which will also be like a retracement on gold. So that's why I have these levels drawn. This support right over here, 1586. This breaks, we're coming down to 1585. Actually, it's 1586.80. It's like around 20 pips. Hi, do you recommend Oanda as a trusted broker? I don't know, you have to go look at it yourself. What's this chart here? Sell Gova, Sir Raja. Okay. Man, no comprende español, amigo. Perfect. No comprende español. All right, let's take a look at GA over here. How's it going? Oh, it's going great. Ooh, GA, 30-minute previous candle was bearish. This one is still open. Still unsure how this is going to close.
Yeah, I took it on the 15-minute. Once it broke the high of the previous 15. I'm anticipating the hourly to flip and go bullish.
Makes sense. See here, GA is also finishing bullish. We're still above that.
I think if the same thing for GJ. If that thing flips bullish and breaks like the previous high, it's just gonna run.
Yep. Yep, it should continue momentum.
Hopefully. Is Ted gone all week? You know?
No idea.
Oh.
Does gold has possibility to go to 1601? Man, 1601 is far, far away. Not today. Not today. Ooh, GJ is just getting ready over here. GJ is getting ready. We got 12 minutes left for this 1 hour candle to close, and the wait is intense. The wait is intense for this candle to close. Alright, let's check this chart here. Oh, resistance broker, Took buys, clean traffic, thoughts. Well, you won the trade, so it's good. Those are my thoughts. Very nice. All right, let's check the calendar here. No news. CAD manufacturing sales. Ooh, GPCPI tomorrow. Expecting good numbers. More good news for the pound. CAD CPI. It should be interesting. CAD CPI. What else is here? That's it. Bunch of Euro and GP news on Friday, and that's about it. Should be easy. Should be easy day to day too. I mean, there should be some sort of volume here as well. The only problem is that we had this big push in pre-New York, so you might see some sort of consolidation till, like, you know, New York Open, and then let's see how we can tackle it. But for gold, I'm looking to take sells below 1586.60, coming down to 1585. That's what I'm waiting for. For GJ, we'll see how this kind of closes. Oh, any reason you expect gold to drop? Yeah, China tariffs, China removing tariffs, you know, so fundamentally there should be some sort of easing on gold buys. So you know, now we just have a level here. I mean, it's not a big drop. It's like a 15, yeah, 19 pip drop. You know, it's not something huge. I mean, the big drop is going to be if it comes down to this weekly open around 1580. That'll be a big drop. You know, from here to 1585, and from 1585 down to 1580. So we'll see what happens.
And they're about to go.
I secured 60 pips on that move up, so whatever happens now happens in that zone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, we hit 1589, right? That was originally my target.
Yeah.
Basically 1588, 1589. And it's what we called last week.
GA is popping right now. Ooh. Come on, girl.
What's this? Gold overall bullish trend. We'll look for retest. 1584.85. Nice. Yeah. Oh.
Good morning, good morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
What's up? How you doing?
GA's gone.
Where did GA go? To California?
Yep, I'm already at 10. Dunzo, let's go. Now it's gonna go to the moon.
Oh, my thing turned off over here.
I can't see your screen, but I do.
Hey, Chris, did you catch any gold?
So I muted myself. Yeah, I did, mate. Yes, we had some
Okay,
gold
perfect.
in London. Yes, it went well up to about 89, and I actually closed 88.56, something like that.
Nice.
But yeah, it was nice. We set that this morning. We had some on EN actually this morning, which was a better trade actually, but because someone else pointed that out. But yeah, gold was nice. It was some good setups this morning. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've been in it since 1580. So.
Damn it.
Yeah. Well, I
work,
wasn't.
dude.
Well, remember we talked on Friday about that, right? That
Yeah,
we would-
100%.
That as soon as we had that flip on the
Yep.
daily, that we
Mhm.
would fly, and
Yeah,
waited
very
for that.
true.
I had my alert set at 1578, and then as soon as it dropped and pulled back up again, I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's a nice one. But where have you moved stops up?
Yeah,
high,
my stop right now. Like I closed one position already
Mhm.
at 50 pips, so this one is my stop loss is at 1586.50 right now.
Nice. Yeah, sensible.
Yeah,
I
because
like it.
I'm gonna be light. It's gonna be trading light today because I gotta travel at the middle of the week, so I figure
Okay.
do as much as I can now.
Yeah, it's cool. Because I didn't look at the charts really. Yes, I did London session obviously just for helping people out and stuff, but I kind of didn't do anything yesterday. I didn't really look at the charts after London session. I just left it, and then I did see its move, and I was like, damn it. But then I think we'll have a few more options. But yeah,
Well,
nice.
I think 1589 is our top point for right now. And then our ultimate target, like I have a take profit on this trade at 1594.94.
Yeah, I was just at 93 something. Mhm.
Yeah, which is the top of the wick there. I don't think we'll get there today. I think there'll be a pullback today. Because yesterday we really had no market movement, so I consider this a Monday. So that's why we're getting that drive up, and then tomorrow it'll screw everybody by dipping, and then Thursday, Friday we'll probably continue.
Yeah, I kind of said the same thing this morning. Well, yesterday actually. I'd expect today to be the Monday as such, but I didn't know sometimes after a little break you kind of get a bit of extra volume. I find in the New York it seems to like even doubles up a little bit, but
yeah,
not always the case. But
yeah, but once we get to 1594, I don't know what to do at that point. So I'll sit and I'll evaluate to see what comes through in terms of structure of the market. I really think 1594 will be the catalyst to potentially drop us down, like in that range from 1594 to 1608. I think at that point you have to be very, very cautious if you're going to buy at that point.
Yeah, I think so. That's a tough point to beat. It's I was looking at some higher targets on monthly levels, but I think you got to be over well into the 16s at that point, to be fair, before I would even get interested in that level.
The way the weekly's structured right now, we should head up to basically 1595. I mean, the weekly structure is really good right now on gold. So that's an easy target to achieve. The issue becomes once we get to that target, what happens next?
Yeah, definitely. All good fun. That's good. Oh, I'm glad you got in at 80. That's a good trade, man.
What did you guys catch this morning, Chris? Would you say that was GJ?
So we had gold trades. Oh, hang on, I can't see my chat. I mean, people took some gold trades on the 5 minute from low 87s, which was pretty cool. And then some higher up on a little pullback down into that range just to see kind of push up. But we had a Euro New Zealand trade, which worked out really well. Looking at GJ, I was in gold, so I didn't take any other trades at the time. But GJ would have been a good entry as well. We were discussing before because it had like a little fake out in 1 hour. I think it was.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But we were saying about taking maybe buy stops above 700 just on the basis we should get to 800. That should be if you get the momentum from that fake out as such. But then it kind of, if anyone took that, then man, it flew after that. So it didn't stop at 800 at all. Just kept going. So it was a good trade for anyone in that. There's many that took it. So yeah, it's a good day.
How it goes.
Yeah, I took the sell on GJ, and then now I've got to reprogram my brain to take the buy now.
I think I've took a sell this year on GJ. Yet.
Yeah, I sold it last night and then bought GA just now.
It did go down through Asian actually, didn't it?
Yeah, it went down nicely when it went down, but before it went down, it was kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah, once it broke, I think it was.
Yeah, once it broke, it died. It had like it looked like it was like news that pushed it down because the candle, it was doing like a retest. It was like bullish, and it instantly had a 15 pip wick lower than the previous, and it was still back bullish. So I was just like, what the heck? And
Yeah,
then
I think I was explaining that this morning. Good entry was like 760 something.
yeah.
And then that was a perfect trade, in my opinion. I was looking at it this morning on 30 minute. That would have been a lovely trade to take there.
Yeah.
GJ just pulled back for the weekly wick because we were in that consolidation. Remember we talked about that on Friday where it was going to drop and Rakeel got that massive drop.
Yep.
And that was to pull back for liquidity now for the beginning of the week. And the problem I see with GJ is it's scary to trade right now in this area because when you look at the weekly level, you're coming right into it again.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem.
But now you've got a wick though, which I like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'll take GJ buys once we get the weekly candle to flip bullish. Like once I see bullish momentum and we're around 143, 400, 500, I think I'll take buys at that point because then at least we can get to 144, 600.
Yeah, that's a sensible play.
Yeah, if I was in earlier, like if I had taken this trade, like say in Asian or London, then I'd be comfortable with it, like sort of what I am with gold. Like with gold, I wouldn't be trying to take any buys right now because we're stuck in that range. But if you're already in it, it's a really good buy. It's just if you're not in it yet, it's a very, very tough situation at that point.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this morning would have been ideal to jump in on that on GJ as well, and obviously gold was a good spot. I mean, you'd still be able to probably just about keep a stop loss in a good place, but like I said, it's going to range probably in this little gap. So we'll see.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at gold right now on the hourly, we're consolidating, right? So you have the same thing that we've had for the last 2 weeks. Like we keep seeing the exact same thing. We have this push up, and then we sit like this, and then we do this, right? And it's exactly what we said would happen every single time. So now it's just a matter of being patient. And like we said last week, if you miss this level here, you have to then start watching for this level here, and then eventually this level here. So you're running out of levels now to watch. So if you're not on the ball with gold, or at this point, you're gonna miss the move because we were expecting to go to 1589 this week. Like we talked about that last week on the stream, that we were supposed to be at 1589, 1590 this week. We've already basically hit it. So now you're sort of playing with fire going into the 1590s to 1600. That's the top of like a lot of ranges, right?
Yeah, especially if you look at the moves we've had over the last week. With just so many opportunities there up to here.
That's right. So
yeah. Oh, I'm glad you got in it. Oh, maybe I should have looked yesterday. I didn't think there was going to be that much movement yesterday, to be honest. I looked this morning.
It's just because my alert went off, and I was like, "Yep." All right.
Yeah, I probably should have set one. To be fair, I didn't. I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's why I missed GJ, because GJ would have been a nice buy.
Do you know what we said? Because I was paying attention to gold. I was like, well, I know GJ's doing its thing. It's kind of consolidating. It's had a little fake out. We'll watch that in a minute. Watching gold, took the trade, looked at GJ. I was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. GJ, I mean, I want one more daily candle bullish, and then I'll look a little bit closer. But if we go above 143,500, I'm a little bit more comfortable. What should we look out for if we want to short gold? Well, not what you're looking at right now, the opposite of what we see in gold. So when you see the opposite movements of this, that's when you should short gold. It's going to be very, very difficult to short gold right now. You need the candles to basically flip, like Raja was saying earlier. You need candles to break certain levels. So once you break like 1586, 1585, then look to short it down. But I mean, right now at this point, there's nothing giving us any information to short.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing in that range either. I don't think it's not fun. Not fun.
You can be very, very profitable with gold if you just have patience. It's not a hard pair to trade. It's hard because people are trying to find something that doesn't exist. That's the problem. So when you're trading a pair like gold or GJ, a lot of people feel that they're missing out on something. Technically speaking, if you're not missing out on anything, the idea is you have to plan for the opportunity. When you see the opportunity, you have unlimited upside potential for the trade, because gold and GJ move very, very hard when they trend. So don't chase the trade, let it come to you, and you'll be rewarded. Even if you don't trade for 3 or 4 days with gold or GJ, and you catch that one GJ or one gold trade, that'll make up for 3 or 4 days of not trading. Trust me.
Okay, what's this over here? Entry if the candle finish bullish, but there's no range. Like if you're buying gold, there's no range. There's like 15, it's a small range on gold. I'd be looking for sells once you break below 1586.50. Coming down to, like, you know, fill this gap. That's gonna happen. If there's gonna be a pullback, then this is gonna be the pullback below 1586.50. But this chart here, this makes no sense. Entry if the candle finish bullish. I mean, then where's your take profit? Where's your stop loss? I mean, you have these boxes drawn. I mean, you need to be more descriptive with your analysis.
Banana needs his chart seen. He sent it 100,000 times this morning.
Yeah, we saw Banana's chart.
Oh, okay. That was a nondescript.
Yeah, it was this one right over here.
Oh, great.
Is it
again? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Raja.
Yeah, is it against the trend in my limited knowledge to short gold? Yeah, it's against the trend, but then I can see it clearly heading down. I'm comfortable with taking sells once it breaks below 1586.50. So you need to be comfortable in taking a trade. Wouldn't it be more risky? I think risky are only things that you're not willing to lose. You know, if you're willing to bet on something, if you're willing to lose something, then that's not risky. That's just a calculated risk. So whatever gold's trying to do, if it's wedging or creating some flag or whatever is happening, looking at levels, if it breaks below 1586.50, it's coming down. And then there's a very high chance we're going to fill the gap as well.
Yeah, I don't see that rakeel. I see like the 4 hour, it's still pushing up. It's just creating that going bearish. You've got another 2 hours of the 4 hour to flip. And when you look on the 1 hour, it's just creating lower highs, lower low. Same on the 30 minute, 15 minute. So I think like for sells, for me personally, it would have to be way below, like to break the previous 4 high. Under 1585 at least. That's just what I see outside.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, you know, so you see buys more and I see sells more if it breaks a level here, you know. What confirmation the gap should be closed, the gap cannot be closed? Well, the thing is, like, once it breaks below 1586.50 And from what I've seen is that once price, like, okay, so we had the gap, right? We had the gap, price never came down to it. Like, I mean, it wicked down to 1582.30 and then it continued to move up. So once price starts to go down to the direction of the gap, what I've seen based on my, like, based on my observations is then there's a higher chance price will continue down to fill the gap. So, fundamentally also speaking, China is easing up on the tariffs, so that should bring some, bring some relief on the bullish momentum here on gold. So that's what I'm looking at. So ideally, I'm looking at this level to break below to take sells down to 1586 or 1585, 1584.
You've also got clear traffic after that point. So
Yeah, didn't you do a video on trading gaps on your YouTube, Rakeel?
Yes. But it's not on like how to trade gaps. It's just education on what gaps are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you covered some of it, didn't you? I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some however, but like I haven't seen this move happen towards the gap a lot of times. Like I need to see it happen live maybe like 30 times, 25 to 30 times, and I just haven't seen it enough to really put down something in stone that this does happen.
Nor would you ever want to do that to begin with.
Yeah.
Because it boxes your theory, and then all that happens is when it doesn't happen, you're just going to get frustrated.
Yeah, I think that frustration part also comes with like how mature you are in the market. Like if you box yourself, then of course you're gonna get frustrated. Oh, why didn't it happen? But like if you just play it on it, anticipation that okay, I took a sell, it didn't happen. Oh well, let's move to the next one.
Yeah, I agree. I think the idea when you're in momentum, looking left at targets are always going to be your safest play because price will most likely have to return to that level just based on probability and statistics. When you think about it, if price does break below 1586, more than likely we have to go down to 1580, 84. I would say 1580, 83, just because of market structure. But that doesn't mean that we're shorting it. It just means that there's a temporary pullback based on some fundamental news, which is fine. And then we would really need to have a strong rejection to say, hey, this is now 1589, 1590 was the top level. It's just very hard to call with no real rejection on the higher time frames at this point. This would be a pullback, but it would be a nice 40, 50 pip pullback at that point.
Yes.
Why is target not 1585? Well, target can be whatever you want. It's just we're talking, in just terms of the way that the market's set up. You can see right now there's a nice gap or a nice move up on the 30-minute at around 1584. So price would probably return there. I mean, once again, when you look through the charts and you get a little bit of information, this is a zone, right? We can pretty much agree that this is a zone. And if this is a top zone here, and now we're starting to leave that area, so we have essentially hit the top for this range for today, and now we're going to start stepping down. Your steps then look like this, right? We drop, and then we tap into that. That's what Raj is looking at right now. Is we will probably break, and then you'll have a candle that'll come up here back into this zone. Right? Because you can see right now there's a zone, a small little one right over here. We tap back into that, and then you have your candle sort of dropping at that point. And then the next one dropping, and then finally into that level there. And then that drop would then equate to this gap over here being filled. And then that would start the move up again. So what you would find is you would have this candle here with a wick to the downside like this, and then we would start moving on the way up, and then eventually pop through that. That's the ideal play at this point if you're looking at it. So you can essentially double dip. If we do dip down and you're looking for a candle, this is your key candle here. this is your key candle. You want a bullish formation, and you want that wick from the downside in this zone here to show that we're starting to leave this zone here. And that's what you're looking for. So similar to what we found over here, which gives you a nice opportunity then to start leaving, because you can see with the way we drew out the zone, the next set of candles that come down to dip, they don't tap into that zone. So you know that we're starting to leave. So you have that step up motion where we stepped up all the way to 1588, 1589. If we're going to step down, it has to be a similar pattern going all the way down. So as you start to leave a zone, you'll see that the candles won't come back and touch that area that you've highlighted. It'll start to be just a little bit above, and that'll give you a little bit of hints to say that, hey, we're on our way up. The same thing will happen here. Once we start to drop below this area here, you're going to see the next set of candles may start over here where the wick is to the upside, and then we start to drop down, and that's where you have a hint to say, hey, we might come back down to this level again. So it's something to keep in mind. But if it does make that pattern where Raja gets to sell, I'll be trying to take a buy on the way up, because I still think we have more upside. But right now, I agree with Raja on the way up the drop, if it does work that way.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a sell stop at like 1586.40 and bring it all the way down.
Yeah, my stop loss is at 1586.58. So yeah, anything below that probably.
Makes sense then.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good one because 80-90% of the time it gets stopped out anyway. So
exactly, good, yeah. So that's what I mean. Like if I'm going to get stopped out, it's going down hard.
It's a good percentage chance.
All right, GJ here broke out of this area and now it's just retracing. Gotta wait for support to be formed to see if you're going to continue up.
Raja, on that chart, are you not bothered about the 150 level?
Which one, mate? The 150?
Yeah, I was looking. 160 on 30 minutes is pretty rough, I think. But
I'm not really worried about it because if a support is formed, then I have enough range.
Yes.
And with the momentum kicking in with the NY Open or with the NYC Open later on, I mean, we might get up to 143, 240, 250. Yeah. Like this yellow line here at like 232. This is the this is the point when the weekly is going to flip bullish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just got this clusterfuck of candles here to break above. Yeah, some GJ, I'm waiting for some sort of a bullish, like a support to be formed here. For gold, I have a sell stop at 1586.40. Let's see what happens.
Would you consider looking at 15-minute for creating your support on GJ?
I would, but it's too weak of a confirmation. Like when this candle closed bullish, I wanted to take buys, but then it said, it's like very early in the hour as well. It was the first 15 minutes of the 1 hour candle, so I kind of stayed away from it. Yeah, like the 1 hour had a clean break, man. Look at this. Like this was yesterday where price broke below it and made resistance and continued down. So it's at that same. It broke that level. Now it's at that same level here again.
Yeah, she had no care for that this morning.
Yeah,
it just flew past.
The monthly on gold to go bullish and have a top wick.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hi Raja, I agree, China tariffs, but do you think there's a risk that the revenue downgrade from Apple may spook the equity market and put buying pressure on gold? I have no idea how that works. What I'm looking for is a break below 1586.50 and then take a sell down to 1585, which is 15 pips. That's it. That's all what I'm looking for. Oh man. On the other side, if this candle starts closing below 143, 142.050, this move up could be a fake out. We might see a correction like further down towards 142.900, 800. Let's see what happens. That's all speculation. I'm in no trades right now. Just got a sell stop at 15.8640. Have a sell stop over there. Oh, someone sent the wrong chart. The wrong chart, mate. I see GJ1R can flip. Yeah, if it flips, if it flips. If it doesn't flip, it doesn't flip. That's the beauty. But like taking a buy right now and betting on the fact that it's going to flip, I think that's going to be a very, very immature and a risky bet. Like if someone takes a buy now and tries to get a wick entry, a better entry would be to wait for some sort of a support to be formed and then a bullish candle to be formed so that you can be more comfortable in taking those buys. Like buying right now in GJ would be tremendously risky. I think GJ is a fake out. I was here in the morning and this push up was news, maybe a push to find some stops. Yeah, I'm just on the sidelines for now, just waiting. How would you go about calculating a stop loss, let's say on the sell stop? So my stop loss is going to be around 1588. So it's going to be around a 16 pip stop, 16, 17 pip stop, 1588. But at the same time, since it's gold, and gold is a very, very high volume pair, and if it does go below 1586.40, I'm expecting like a hard push down with gold. Because when gold comes with a lot of volume, like gold has a lot of pre-workout in it. So when it comes pretty strong.
Pre-workout.
I like the analogy.
Yeah.
You're getting pretty swell. I seen your bicep flex story the other day.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty big.
Trying to pass me up.
Well, It's been 7 months I've been going to the gym. 7 months from Monday to Friday.
Nice. And
Yeah.
you're like eating better too, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get I'm close. I'm close enough to getting a tattoo. So I think 2-3 more months and then I'm gonna get like a half sleeve done.
Then you're like official, like tough guy in the gym kind
Oh
of stuff.
yeah. Oh, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Once you hit that like 7-month, 1 year mark, you pretty much have to get that tattoo.
Yeah, like when you have the shoulders showing and the arms are nice, So
Yeah, then you got to get once you hit 2 years, you have to get a calf tattoo to just
no,
symbolize how strong you are.
I'm not symbolizing that shit at all. I'm gonna stay away from the calf.
You can put a little dumbbell on your calf.
Yeah.
Then you can only wear those tank tops, those wife beaters.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Yeah, so much waiting around now. How much do you bench? I don't bench press. I don't bench press.
Such an amateurish statement. In the
How much
gym.
do you how much do you bench?
Oh,
How much
that's
do you
everyone
bench?
what they ask. Oh, how much do
Yeah,
you bench?
how much you bench? Like that's the key identifier to someone who can work out at the gym.
It's measured in people as well. So
Yeah.
It's either that or, yo, bro, what pre-workout do you take? Is that how I get big? Like, yeah, just take pre-workout and you just magically get big.
Oh, you go to the gym? How much you squat, bro?
yeah,
That's what people don't ask. Because they're like, train legs, nah.
yeah, leg day, whatever.
How much you curl? What do you bench?
Yeah. I love when people ask that. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Your own body weight. That's all I try to do. My own body weight. I don't want to be massive.
Oh yeah, you're lightweight, man.
Yeah, I am light.
Ryan actually.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you in London? Like, are you? Oh yeah, no, you're in Nottingham. Ryan's all over the place. Norway.
It's not far. So, yeah, I just got back last night.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, we're gonna meet up. We're gonna meet up soon.
100%. I'm only an hour and a half away from London.
All right, now GJ is showing some good signs of this 30-minute candle. See, the 30-minute candle is closing bearish, but it's closing above 143. Like, it's closing above this level here to the left. Still got some 4 minutes left to close, so just gonna wait and see what happens. Are you in a trade? No. I am in no trades.
Ted, did you watch the All-Star game?
Yes, I did. It's the best
What-
All-Star game.
What did you think of the new
That's perfect.
approach
They should do that every year now from now on.
with like the charity and stuff?
Yeah, just the way that they set up in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter was the best fourth quarter I've ever seen in an All-Star game. People actually arguing and fighting with the ref.
Yeah, it was good. That charity idea was super cool, I thought. And then they had like all the kids and they got like a whole section. Yeah, I missed the fourth quarter though.
Yeah, it's the best. It was the best game I've ever watched. I was impressed. I mean, I was unhappy that the two Raptor players screwed up the last 2 minutes of the game for them. But I mean, hopefully no one.
Hopefully no one noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, shouldn't be able to win with a free throw. Yeah, I agree with that. That's the only thing they should change. You shouldn't be able to win at the line. There should have to be something other than a free throw to win it.
All right.
It's coming for you, Raja.
Yeah, my self-stop is going to get activated here soon.
Yeah, I have a sell entry, 1587.46.
Okay. Perfect.
Stop. It's above the previous 30-minute candle.
Yeah.
It's got stopped.
And so.
It's coming. Yeah. It's coming.
I wonder how many people just
That's unlucky, dude. That's a good trade though, dude.
No, I'm happy with what I'm getting because I did basically this week. I've already done what I did last week in one
Great.
day,
Good stuff, man.
and that was the target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
And
good
that
analog
was-
trade.
Because last week was very difficult to trade gold, and I missed a lot of the big moves up. So I was happy I got to this week's move. Like I was ecstatic that I got what I got out of this week's move because that's what I was really planning. So
No, that's good. Now we wait.
exactly.
So is that 60? 65?
Yeah, I'm 68 pips right now.
Nice, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, almost 70 pips now. because the first position I closed at I closed last night. I was talking with Tashan, and we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna close this one position at 50 pips, and then I'll let the other one run.
What was that through Asian when it started?
It started to pull back a bit, and we were both talking about it, and I said to him, because we've been hunting this since 1555.
Yep.
And we both said 1590, and I agreed 100% with his analysis. And I said it's just a matter of us trying to get there without getting stopped out. And then now he's like, it looks like it's gonna rip down a bit. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, I'm closing the position. I'm like, all right, I'll close one too.
That's sensible, man.
Yeah. Gold suggests above 1600, 1610 will be sold off by Friday. Yeah, I think so too. I think there's, like I said, once you get into the 1595 region, I'd be very cautious in the 1600s. Like I said, I still believe there's still upside for gold. And I think 1595, 1600 is a good target. We've been talking about that for a month now on the stream. Like, I've never once told anybody to sell gold. I don't believe in selling it. If there's pullbacks, you can definitely take advantage of those pullbacks. I'm just not comfortable with it because I see the long-term target. Once we hit the long-term target, then I'll be hunting sells at that point, and I'll be looking for opportunities short. But I need a massive rejection on the major candles to then signify that the push is starting. But you can see just the way that gold has stepped up, it just continues to step in that upper direction.
In that respect, Ed, when you're looking on the higher time frames, would you be looking for a lot more than, say, on like 3 or 4 days?
What I'd be looking for is, like on the weekly, I'd be looking for massive rejections with a bearish candle. So if Raja, when he's done, if he opens up a gold weekly chart, I'll show you what I'm looking for that rejection to start.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure whether you'd want to wait to see like 3 or 4 daily candles, or higher than that, really, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, weekly.
Yeah, so if you go like a little bit further to the left, and around 1555, I'd be looking for something like this. Right? So you'd be looking for candles like this. That's what I'd be looking for. I wouldn't be looking for something like this. I'd be looking for the latter where we get that dip, because now what I have is you have rejection at this level here, but then we have bearish movement compared to rejection here, but bullish movement.
Yep, I see what you're saying. Yeah, sensible.
Yeah, I got in on GJ buys here. I saw the opportunity. This nice stop loss, like 8 pip stop. Like almost like a greater target there. The 30-minute candle is, reaching the high of the previous 30-minute. We did close above that area, so I'm taking this chance here. Plus, I still got sell stops in for gold, so let's see what happens with that. We've broken the high now, so it's looking good so far.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go.
Yep, should be good.
I mean, there's like one attempt at a bearish candle, and it's super, super weak.
Yeah. Ooh, what's this? GJ 4-hour gap supply level 142.60. Oh, okay. That entry was in the past. All right. See, now gold is also now starting to move down. I mean, it just needs to break below 1586.60 and then 55 and then activate the sell stop and come on down.
Things moving nice.
Yeah. By break, you mean close below? Yeah, I mean, if there's a close or there's a break, I mean, same thing. So we'll see what happens at that moment here. You know, it's still at that level. It hasn't really activated anything yet. If GJ runs to target here, then I'm going to close my sell stops on gold, because then there's no point in like, you know, having two things open. So let's see what happens. What's this? Oh, someone sent the chart again. Yeah, we saw this chart. Nice one. The TP is 144.620. Perfect. I mean, there's no other explanation. It just says gap supply level. That's it. So even if you send the chart again like 10, 20 times, I'm still going to see the same information. Or maybe you're looking to see if I can read your mind. I just can't. Sorry. It's pretty hard. Oh, Raja's stop loss smashed. Gold price. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't really reached my sell stop, so the stop loss hasn't been smashed yet.
Who the fuck is that?
Who would take the time to draw that to send it?
Oh dear.
Jesus.
FX noob.
Not very big, that was it.
Put more time into the charts instead of drawing and coloring.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one. Oh. Gold, as the 15 minutes starting to come down, what I'm going to do is now, since it's coming back in the red zone here from profits, I'm closing 50% of my position, because the worst thing you can do is to let your position run in a drawdown from profits.
You just press one button for that?
Yeah, just press one button to close that.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
I'm waiting to take an entry on gold. At 86, 1586.
Check it out.
Yeah, baby.
Snap.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
That's it. Feel like a pro now.
Yeah, man. Trust.
You know, I ain't got no batches, I've got to go shop. That's cool though.
Yeah. Mate, my son keeps taking my batteries out of everything for his Xbox control pad. Really annoying.
Yeah, you gotta turn the battery up.
And I went and brought brand new Duracells, and then it wouldn't turn over. I thought, what's going off here? So I've pulled the back off the control pad, got some Energizer ones that are at his Xbox.
30 minutes looks like it's creating a rejection wick. When I didn't have a button, now it's flipping bearish. Yeah, that's fine. See, at this point, I've taken half of my position off. I've closed 50% of my position. So now if it hits my stop loss, I'm not losing my entire position. I'm losing 50% of what I initially had. Because now you got to manage your trade, right?
Raja.
Yo.
Hey, bud. So from what I can see, so if your 15-minute closes bearish and below a significant whatever, then you close half, and then now if it's been in profit and then it starts closing bearish, you close half as well, right? So
well, if it closes bearish, I'm going to close my positions.
The 15-minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because then essentially it's closing below, like, you know, this mini resistance here it's made. So
Okay, yeah. Got
Yeah.
it, got it.
So then it makes no sense like for me to still hold a bearish candle unless I see more bullish confirmations.
But it's also respecting the barcodes, right? Bottom of the barcodes or the bottom of the bodies.
Yeah, but it needs to go above this
The
mini
top of the
resistance.
barcode.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to go above it. So right now I'm running 50% of what I originally had on this buy. Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't do that sort of trade management, then you can have a very messy day. You're taking buys, you're taking sells, you're taking loss, and you're trying to enter again, and it just becomes a big mess. Gold sell stops, they still haven't been activated yet. I'm still waiting on that. Oh, Ninad. Alright. Don't trade the range, Raja. Don't do it. Yeah, I'm not trading the range. It's like these buys were.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, no problem. These buys were from before, so now it's time to come down. So yeah, just waiting to see what happens here.
Oh, my buddy just got screwed over at the airport. He's
Oh.
like, I'm currently deboarding my flight because the maintenance guy sprayed so much de-icing fluid it somehow got through the windshield and broke the circuitry in the cockpit.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
I'm playing with planes,
Now
man.
who's in trouble?
Man, it wasn't even that cold to put so much de-icing on it.
It's cold in the sky though.
Just spray it out everywhere.
Oh man,
he
don't
just
need that.
he just messaged me. He's like, I'm not going anywhere now. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I'll probably go home.
Leaving Pearson too.
I'm not scared of flying. And coming back from Norway yesterday, we had a lot of winds on takeoff. They told us it's going to be a bad takeoff. I didn't think nothing of it. The plane was getting spun left, right.
Yo, I don't need to hear these stories, man.
It was horrible. And my son, bless him, just kept squeezing my arm. Honestly, at that moment in time, what went through my head was Kobe and his daughter, and just thinking, if this goes down now, like with my son on it, I wasn't really bothered about myself. Not nice.
Yeah, you think about the flight that went from Toronto to London, I think, in the storm. It took like 5 hours, some minutes.
Yeah, that was crazy how fast they were going.
Yeah.
I was like,
So quick.
It was getting pushed.
Yeah, it was getting pushed. There was a huge windstorm over the Atlantic, and they blocked some flights, but some flights got out, and they made record times across the Atlantic.
Yeah, dude, it's like 90 miles an hour or something.
Yeah.
Huge. And that here, you've got video footage of them trying to land these big Etihad planes and stuff, like sideways and stuff. Oh, it's mint. Awesome skills. But
I just got stopped out of gold.
Yeah, I'm about to enter on gold. My entry will be 1586.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's going to touch that. It's going to fly up, and big rejection on the 4 hour.
Oh, why hasn't my self-stops activated here?
Because it knows it's going to fly up.
15,
That is too much.
86.40 is my self-stop. Oh, it's not. Haven't reached there yet. We all know gold is going to drop here.
Yeah, my stop was at 1586, 58. That's why. So that's why I got stopped out.
Will the magic keys be back in stock? Yes. China basically, the Chinese government, they stopped all Chinese manufacturers to send stuff out of China till March. So it's gonna happen. See, GJ, this 30-minute candle is about to close in how many minutes? 15 minutes? Now, if the best position here would be if it closes bullish, then I'm going to tighten my stop, bring it down to the low of the 30-minute candle, and then let it run.
Yeah, we're gonna have a nice push next hour open. So looking for 143, 250 to get rich.
Yes.
Roger.
Hey.
It's a headache again. I'm gonna. So I entered on the bullish the third candle from the bullish 30-minute candle, not this one, the one before, and I tried to play it like a bit aggressive.
Yep.
Yeah. So the thing is, because I've seen you guys do it previously, like play it like that. Now the thing with doing it that way does it give you more losses, or waiting and then waiting for a confirmation kind of
So you entered on this candle here?
Yeah, that's it, because I thought, okay, that's a bullish candle.
Yeah.
It's got a potential breakout.
Yeah, but the body was too small. Like, I looked at it as well, and I saw that the body is too small, so then I didn't enter.
Okay, and the thing is, I didn't actually manage my trade thing, because I put a stop loss thing, because the 15-minute went bearish again, so I should have closed half the position. Like if I was following the way you're sort of teaching in that way. So I just put a fixed stop loss right at the bottom of that bullish candle, and I thought, because it was respecting it, I held it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I should have closed half the position off, because it came the 15-minute came out bearish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still in the trade?
Yeah, I'm still in the trade. Still in the trade though, but you know.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because
Yeah,
like if
I'm not following all the rules, so I kind of because I can't remember them in time.
Well, while you're in the trade, it's you gotta remember them. I mean, it's like when you're driving a car, you see a red light, you're gonna stop, right? You're not gonna say, "Oh, I forgot to stop at the red light."
Yeah, of course.
Yes, like that. So when you see, because like when I see things turn against me, I automatically start taking off my risk, because the last thing I want is a complete 100% stop loss to hit. That's something at first I tried to stay away from losses. So the solution was to take less trades. So I'm like, okay, awesome. So the next step was to stay away from having my complete stop loss hit. So the solution to that was to see when can I remove 50% of my position.
The risk. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm always keeping that in mind.
Yes.
Sorry, I just joined. What trading pair is that? I think you need to go get your glasses to be able to read what's going on. I think these gold prices are off by some pips. On my MetaTrader, yeah, these gold prices are off a little bit. Still think it's going to drop.
You haven't reset your feed, have you, Rakeel? You haven't changed your provider by accident, have you?
Yeah.
Do you know on your where have you got on your left where you've got British pound, Japanese yen?
Yeah.
Is that who you usually use?
No, I just have it as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just have it my zones here drawn, so I don't want to change it and redraw the zones.
Yeah.
But, we get the idea that it should continue. Like my bias is sells.
Yeah, no, I just meant the data feed provider. Like mine's Oanda, because obviously that matches up with my broker times
Yeah.
for the 4 hour.
Kurt Analyst said gold go up. That's some great analysis, Kurt Analyst. Amazing analysis. Gold go up. Perfect. Do you take half off and place stops at break even? No, not really. Not right now, because the candle's still open. This candle came down, I think it came down to create a lower wick, but it kind of spooked me enough to close half of my position. So now the rest half is still open, so that's good. If it starts to close bullish, I might look to enter another one with my stop below the current 30-minute candle around 143.040, which would make sense for then it to continue moving up. So then at that point, I would expect the New York Open volume to push it further up. In monetary terms, I think in the start I had risked $380 here, but now if it hits my stop loss, I'm losing maybe like 170 instead of 380. So that way I've really reduced my risk here on the trade, because capital preservation is key. Capital preservation is key. No face, no case. Do you ship to South Africa? No, because things get lost over there. Are your charts on MT4 5 daily candles, or does your broker include 6 dailies? I have no idea what my broker includes as daily candles. Because currently I'm not worried about how many daily candles are in my brokerage, because I'm not looking at the daily candles right now. I'm looking at what's presented to me right now, currently. See, now this thing is coming down. So once this 15-minute candle breaks the low of the previous 15-minute candle, then I'm going to close my positions here on GJ. So, I've shifted my mindset from hoping price would go back in profits to actually seeing if it's going to go back to profits or not. Is your gold sell trade triggered? No, it hasn't been triggered yet. It came close, but it hasn't been triggered yet. Where do you see gold closing today? I'm not sure, but I think gold can come down easily to like 1584, 1584.50, and then eventually come down to fill this gap at like 1582. So let's see what happens. Like if this candle closes bearish, I might just remove my sell stops and take a market order. Oh, did it get executed? Not yet.
It's coming closer.
Yeah, it keeps wicking down there,
Yeah.
but it's not activating it.
Yeah, the new hour is gonna make a nice drop and golden push and GG.
Yeah.
Just need to wait.
Raja, on gold, can we enter it on the break of the last red candle? Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at here too. I mean, if this candle closes bearish, like even till around 1586.60, then I'm gonna take a market order with my stops above the 30-minute candle, and then eventually aim to 1585, 1584.50. GJ also will be looking to close here soon because it's not doing what I anticipated it to do. Yeah, I just closed GJ.
I don't like the market structure on gold or GJ right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Mess now.
So you need to break out of that range. And the problem is when you break out of that range, then you have all this shit to contend with over here. So then it becomes like, how do you know that it's an actual breakout or just not a fake out to the upside to go back down again? So, time to sit back and wait. I got stopped out of gold anyway, so I'm done for the day. I'm not gonna look for anything.
No, I think you're good.
Oh, what's this? GU, high, low, lower high, lower high. Retracement after breaking the higher low. Broke this low. Next impulse to create a lower low. Yeah, looks good. So you're waiting for some sort of a bearish confirmation here, I guess, to continue down. Looks good. Let's see in a couple days if it does happen. I mean, you got CPI tomorrow, so, Yeah, we got CPI tomorrow. Then Thursday. Go to Dallas. A good time.
Well, that's this week.
What time do you leave, Raja, on Thursday?
I think my flight is at 7, 6 or 7.
Oh shit, I might see you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I'm flying. My Vegas flight's at 8.
That's mad. I meant to be in Texas this weekend as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I hate taking flights at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning because the airplane, the security line and the customs line is packed full of business travelers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get there early and just camp out.
My flight is at 6:30. Yeah, I leave at 6:30.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably won't see you. I might see you as you're boarding the plane.
Yeah, I'll wave down to you. I'll be, hey.
Hey.
Why did you close GJ before the 15-minute candle closed? Because I wasn't comfortable with it, so I closed it.
So funny. Why did you do it? It's like, it's your money.
Yeah, it's my money. Come on.
Come on.
Any advice for doing really well in demo, then getting into live markets have more losses than profits? Yeah, because Cameron, you are focused on the money. Mentally, you are chasing money. Where demo, there's no result, good or bad. It's just demo. I'd be focusing on one pair and do one trade a day, and then evaluate that. Like, I think a lot of people, if you're having more losses than wins, you should really be looking at, hey, start removing the amount of trading that you're doing, because obviously you're not doing something right. So by taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades in a day, and if you're losing the majority of your trades, you're just hurting yourself. You should be going back to say, okay, if I win a trade, I can then go and take another trade. But if I lose a trade, I have to stop for the day and figure out why I took that loss. Because your first trade of the day shouldn't be a loss. Like, you should be super fresh, where you look and you're like, hey, I should be taking a positive trade, because you really want that first trade to set you up for the rest of the day or the rest of the week. So if you're taking losses on your first day and it's continuous and you're a brand new trader, limit the amount of trading you're doing. There's no point of going back into the market if you're taking more losses than wins. It doesn't make sense. You have to look at why those losses are appearing.
I feel like if you're taking like 4 to 5 trades a day and you're losing the majority, like you said, because you have 4 to 5 trades, you're not analyzing all of those losses. Whereas if you take one, you lose one, you're probably it's more ideal to analyze one trade than look at losing 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. Drop that Raj was talking about. I would wait for the candles to drop below 1586.40, get that nice wick up, and then push down. If that is the case.
Did you delete the sell stop? No. I got in a market entry for gold. So, if it hits my stop, I lose around like 10 pips. If it hits my take profit, I win around 20. Maybe by like 15, I'm going to close, or look to see if I can bring it at break even. How do I send a chart? African music. I think you should stick to music. Because if you can't figure out how to send a chart by reading the description, man, trading's going to get really hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I closed GJ because it looked suspicious. It was being suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I wasted
Be suspicious.
I spent so many hours yesterday on that.
Yeah.
Way too much.
I just want to know if anybody had a strange dream last night.
There's a couple of people on there that do the whole "are you over 35" thing.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
I've had to follow all them.
I'm not doing that.
I followed all this. Did you play N64? What was the game?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's GoldenEye. You just know.
Why does it work with demo account but not with real one? Because people who trade on a live account have not lost money before, and the sensation of losing money or having no control of your money now is a new feeling that you receive from a psychological effect. Nobody sailed away to China last night in their dream?
No.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, David, did you dream last night?
With China.
With China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a boat to China.
On a boat to China.
I don't know. I'm lost. I think you guys are talking some.
No, it's on TikTok. You know, ain't nobody gonna break my stride.
Uh-uh.
I don't know.
You haven't heard that one?
Oh man, you ain't spent enough time on there.
Exactly.
I've seen that enough.
Shit.
Yeah.
I haven't spent enough time. That's true.
That's the best one. I messaged like a few people and I was like, I had a strange dream last night. And they're like, what? I was on a rowboat to China to find you.
You guys have TikToks?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's too much social media for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't even know. All right, gold is. Oh wow, stop me out. Oh,
Gold is nasty.
well, that was my day for today.
Well, that's just typical where your stop was. For Ted, I mean.
Yeah, I know. I got stopped out and then gold burst right back up. And...
Like a tiny bit.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so gold is bullish because the indices are down again. They hit highs and now it's coming back down again.
So I took 2 trades. One I closed early, took a loss on that, minus 5 pips, and then this gold trade also hit my stop loss. We had a great losing day today.
So I heard you guys talking about demo earlier. That's always an interesting topic, right? Everybody thinks that, everybody becomes a multimillionaire on demo and thinks it's the same thing on the real account.
Yeah, right.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. Well, what happens is right, the emotional and the psychological effect are 100% different when it comes to real money versus demo, but also the margins, right? When it's demo, you're not margined out. You can play with whatever you want, and you have margins when you play with real money.
Yep.
So it's a big difference.
And I kind of was in the same spot where I thought, I'm trading demo, I'm gonna get used to the market and all that stuff. It doesn't matter when you start real money. Like I honestly think you should start right away because you get used to losing money on a daily basis, especially in the beginning, and that's huge. And once you get used to that, and once you're, kind of numb to it, you start to get better and better as long as you back to every single day.
Yeah.
And then you start to consistently make money, and that's where everything changes for you, obviously. But I know plenty of people that are still on demo, and they think they're just gonna do demo, and then all of a sudden when they switch over to real money, they're good. And I'm like, nah, you gotta put some skin in the game and really understand what it is to trade.
Yeah. I mean, demo is good to kind of get your feet wet and see what the markets, how they behave and react.
Absolutely.
But you have to understand that when you get your real account, it's different.
Yeah. I honestly think like you should trade with, I don't know, maybe like $100, $200 instead of going demo first, but maybe go demo a week or two, but then really understand what it is to trade with $100. I don't know, putting like,
Best
I don't know, 10 cents a
$100
pip.
and doing 0.01s.
Yeah, I mean it's not even about the money in the beginning. You shouldn't even be concerned about that. You should just be concerned about understanding what it is to put money on the line, and how the market moves, and join them together and really understand trading.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I'm back in Salt Lake with the snow. I really enjoyed LA with the sun. I hate the snow.
Where was you in LA?
What's that?
Whereabouts in LA was you?
I was in downtown LA, in Hawthorne, LA.
Yeah. How long was you there for?
I was there for about a week. I left Tuesday and I got back Friday. So
first time or?
No, I've been late many more times.
Above its upper Bollinger and alternative scenario, the downside break of 142.580 would call for 142. Oh wow, you're running at 142 and 141. We're at 143 right now.
I just want gold to retest the 1589 tops, 89.90s on the 4 hour.
Ooh, nice. Oh, it's ripping up here.
Mm.
Well, good thing I had a stop loss here.
I'll put buy stop on, just in case.
You were so close earlier, Monty. I wanted 93. You said 90. It got to like 89, 50.
Yeah, I was just close enough. I think I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. We worked that out well, man. That's nice.
Yeah, so gold can probably keep going up for a bit more.
Yeah, I'm targeting 1590. That was my original target from last night. I got stopped out just about a half hour ago. I was in from 1580. I think 1590 is a very easy target. I think once you get to 1594, 1595, I would be evaluating my long positions and really being careful at that level. And once you get to 1600s is no man's land. People will ask the question, like, what are you going to do when gold gets to 1600? You sit and wait. Similar to what we did with the way gold moved in the 1500s and the 1400s. Wait for gold to make a high, let it pull all the way back, because you know it will, because there's institutional movement to that level, and then evaluate. If we're still going bullish, now you have a target. So when you can't find a target, wait for the target to be created and just sit back and watch.
What I do, Ted, if you flip to the 4 hour and you see where it gapped up and created the gap on the 4 hour on the 3rd of February.
Yeah.
So how I do it is that gap where it's gapped up and come back down, I'll be looking for, that's where I got the 93 from.
That's right. Agreed. And I was looking just at 90 because when you look right now on the 4 hour, we're right at the top of that level. Like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, and then there's that one candle that gapped up to 92, 93. I take that out of the equation, right? So what I look for is I look for the most taps in that one region. I don't look for the anomaly.
Rather than the anomaly.
That's right. And if the anomaly does work, then I know that that's my next target. So if we break above 1590, we go to 1591 as an example, then I know 1593 is our target.
Yeah, like the mean level price.
That's right.
I'll work on that basis too.
I was already in it earlier from a trade with Chris, with Monty. But then what I do, I work off the 1 hour and 4 hour, and then my 1 minute for the interest. But so I took the trade earlier. I explained to Chris on the 1 hour, and the same with this 4 hour, because the 4 hour is trending. I wait for the candle to get to basically the bottom of the body of the previous candle for my entry, and that's where I take the entry.
Right.
For my buy, and that's why I was looking for a buy when Rakeel was looking for a sell. It don't mean anybody's right or wrong. It's just
right. No, and that's what I said to Raja as well. Is Raja was looking for a sell down to like 1586, and once we hit that target, I'd be looking for buys at that point. If we dropped from like where we are right now, because of simple market structure, this is basically the easiest way to look at gold at this point, right? So you can see everywhere where we sort of bounced up. So now if we come back into this market structure here, which Raja was talking about, which is highly probable, I don't know if it'll happen, you can then take buys at this lower range here, wherever we have, or when looking left, looking there, and then what you do is now you have this whole level here to go through, right? Because essentially what's happening is you have, this up movement all the way up, and then you have consolidation, right? And then we drop back down, but we drop here, create that support. Once we have a rejection off that support, that we're going to start back on our way up again, right? That's what I was looking for. And market structures played really well with gold for the last, I would say, 2 weeks, because we've had this movement. We've had these push downs. The thing that Chris and I were bothered about was, you get this push down here, and it just stops you out, and then you rocket up here, and then you have to hope that this level over here holds to rocket up to the next level. That's the problem when you're playing within the range. Like after the breakout, when you get into this range, like the one wick kills you, and then it continues on its way. So it's just being very cautious of that. But you place a stop below those wicks for a reason, because if gold shifts or it starts to rip down, it'll rip down $5-6 and it'll crush your account for no reason when you were in profit.
Yep.
And that's what's really important. I mean, now that we're heading up into 1588, like we said, this range is the top of the range. So now you have a decision, and we've gone through this last week like numerous times. Is if you took a buy from here, this is the top of your range for this 30-minute candle. You have to make a decision. I'm going to close at the top of that range and take my profit, because that's all you're looking at. But if you're looking at the higher time frames, then your target can be at 1591 or 1593. But think logically. I mean, are we going to really break that? And do I want to risk the opportunity if I get a good move like 20 or 30 pips? Does it make sense for me to try and hold on the basis of breaking this level when I've collected 30 pips in this range?
Yeah.
If you're like, I was in buys down over here, like at 1581, then I don't care about this range. That's sort of the key here. Is you're going to find that a lot of times when you trade gold, if you're in, like I was in at 1580, so I was down over here in this range before we gapped up here. I don't care what goes on in the top of the range, because I'm already deep in profits. But if you're starting off in this range here, you have to be considerate of the fact that we can easily pull right back down and get stopped out several times before we break out. Yeah. So you don't want to waste capital when you know that you're in a range.
Yeah. I always use my lower time frame targets on range, and as soon as we break, that's when I look for the high time frame stuff.
That's exactly it. Yeah. That's exactly it.
What I do.
Yeah.
I would, like, even now I would be looking for buys again at 1572, 1565. Like I say, I can't see this breaking because there's no news today. So along with the technicals, there's no fundamentals for that break. So if there's a CPI tomorrow, is it?
Yeah.
Then that could be the catalyst for that break above. And if not, then the break back down below. Then once I get something to confirm it's going back down, then it will be sells.
Right.
But for me at the minute, I think it would have to be a break below 1573 for sells.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
sorry. Not when I say sells, I mean like not a 10-pip scalp like.
No, that's right, and that's what I'm saying too. Yeah, you have to have a whole change in market structure, like rejections from like the 1580s range or 1590s range to give you that cushion to say that we're going to drop. I agree, because you can see where we have the drop. Like if we get to 1590, it's plausible that you could have a drop back into like 1577. It is plausible, but is it realistic? Probably not. Like I wouldn't be betting on that. I'd be betting on more upside than downside. But the good thing is, on the downside, as we start to come back down, say from 1600, 1620, whatever the number is going to be when gold starts to reverse, when you get to like the 1590s, you know that you have a drop to 1570s because of the momentum at that point. It's just right now there's no market structure to support a drop of that big, and to your point, Ryan, as well, like you said, there's no fundamental news that's telling us that gold's going to rip down to like 1570. I think the fundamental news that will rip gold down, that will shock everybody, is if, like Raja was talking earlier, the trade tariffs with China and the US, if part 2 gets signed and they make an agreement, then expect gold to fly back further down. But then you also have like the coronavirus as like this weird fundamental factor that everyone thinks people are dying. So now like the market's gapping all the way up.
Yeah. And that's just another thing to population control.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like for the amount of people that have died. I mean, I understand it's a bad thing, but I mean, you're looking at less than 1% of the population, like even less than that. Like, I don't understand how it's pushing gold like that. I think it's just an excuse for gold to move, but I don't see like people die from the flu, right?
Yeah, true.
And it's been very weird because that coronavirus situation has also pushed crude oil down, which is what does one thing have to do with another, right?
Right.
Short trade.
It's been very weird.
People actually, like 30 to 40,000 people per year worldwide actually die from the common cold and flu virus.
Yeah.
But it's never reported on because they have Beechams inside the bloody supermarkets. So the fact that no more people have died from the coronavirus than from a regular common cold and flu. Yeah, I think Ted's right. It's just an excuse to push the market.
I think there is something, guys. We've all seen like zombie movies. As we've seen outbreaks happen, so people are thinking, "Shite, this could happen."
I think the issue they have is the inability to control it. That's the problem.
That's what I think it is too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the main reason it's causing issues, because they've basically owned up to say they've got the inability to control it properly at the minute. But it can be contained to an extent. But as you can see, it's kind of spreading everywhere. But
everything's contained because nothing's curable. Everything's just controlled, whether it's the flu or AIDS or nothing's cured. It's the symptoms are just controlled to make them bearable.
Yeah.
Well, if you knew that, the China bank reserves have been burning cash because the notes that they use can hold viruses and bacteria. I think the longest recorded amount of days that a virus has been held on, like on noted money, like a £20 note or a $50 note, is 17 days. So the fact that China's banking reserves at the end of this cycle have been low and they're burning cash because it's containing the virus, quite serious.
I just feel though, if it was a real issue to Sean, like I think anybody, like any country, if it was a real issue, they would stop flights and travel from all countries to contain the virus and deal with it. But they're not, so it's no big issue, in my opinion.
They stopped flights from the US. That I do know.
They've stopped flights from the US.
Yeah, no flights from China to the US, from what I understand.
Yeah, but it's not just China. I'm flued up at the minute. I could get a flight over to the US and bring it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that's already worldwide spread.
Well, okay, Ryan, by your reasoning then, when's the last time that they stopped flights completely for any type of
No, but if it's
no, but I'm asking you,
world,
when's the last time that they did that? Is that recorded before?
I haven't a clue, but I bet when the plague was out...
You can't use that as a parameter then, because it's never happened before.
But if it's that serious... I don't know the answer to that one, but I don't know, like I say, when the plague was came to London, what measures was used then?
I think the difference is that the flu's worldwide. That's already worldwide spread. It's already there, regardless. It's not going to go
away. And it is an airborne disease, isn't it?
Yeah, but the other thing is too, the coronavirus is not a virus that can kill you if you have a good immune system.
Yeah.
It's affecting all the elderly that don't have a good immune system because people have recovered from it on their own power.
Do you know what I seen really bad at the airport yesterday? A mother and a father with a face mask on and their child without one. I didn't get that. Like, they're trying to protect themselves, but they don't care about the child.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head off, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you, Paul.
See you.
Yeah, I think it's just at this point, you know what, like there's precautions and, we're trying to figure it out and they're doing their thing. But like, I don't, it's weird. I can't see gold moving on that basis alone. There has to be other reasons why gold is moving the way it's moving. For a virus, I mean, like, I don't want to take away the I guess the importance or sort of what the impact it's having on the world, but I mean, man, I traveled in the last month, and I'm traveling again on Thursday, and I'm not worried about someone coughing on me, to be honest. Like it's I got bigger issues than someone coughing on me. That's
one of the things I've heard. Sorry, Ted.
Go ahead, Sean.
One of the things I've heard recently regarding the coronavirus is that America kind of engineered this, and they've kind of spread it. And the plan is for China to recall all of the Chinese employees from the Middle East as a kind of scapegoat. So then basically America will have free reign to go inside Iran and other areas in the Middle East, and also like places like Yemen and Sudan, to actually put the drone attacks in there. Because if you know, Yemen, Sudan, and the Middle East, they have a lot of Chinese workers building infrastructure. So I think it's not my personal belief, but a lot of people are saying that this has been done under the guise that America can start proceeding for war in the next few months. What's your take on that?
I don't think so.
Way above my head.
That's a good book. That is a good book and a good movie. No, I don't think so. Every time something like that happens, or possible of war or a virus comes in, there's all these conspiracy theories that people just go way off the handle. I don't think that's the case.
But the possibilities.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to it, but I don't think there's enough truth to it. Like it's just weird because we know the government works the way the government works. It's just we'll never know the inner workings on why things happen the way they happen. And I think a lot of people have those theories, which probably do line up in some respects. Like there's somebody thinking of that, but the problem is with conspiracy theories, as soon as you start talking about it, people label you crazy, and then you get any possible like authentic information gets basically misdirected, right? Like that's the whole thing. When people talk about conspiracy theories, is there's probably some sort of truth to it, but the problem is the truth gets so muddied that you turn out to be a whack job, and then nobody wants to listen. Where there's probably one or two components of that theory that is the truth. And it just gets so convoluted, right? You get broken telephone, and then you basically get that people are like, "Oh, you're just crazy," and it's like, well, no, there's actually some sort of
it's mad how your brain can spiral out of control. So yesterday when I was at the airport, I looked at Rakeel's feed, and I seen the perception one. Do you know, with from the ant all the way up to the universe. When I seen that, I thought, and I really do think we're the only living thing on this planet, like no other kind of being. And I was like, no, mate. Now, after just watching Rakeel's video, I was like, of course there's other life forms. There's got to be.
Yeah, we were talking about we were talking about the possibilities of aliens sending the coronavirus to take over the earth, and people just called us mad and crazy. And I'm like,
that is probably the most wild thing I've ever heard.
It's a possibility, yeah, it's true. And then you turn around and say,
that little video sent my brain going mad.
Yeah, because aliens, I mean, if they want to take over Earth, what's the one way to take over Earth? By attacking humans with biological weapons. And
I think it's too stupid for them.
Coronavirus is a biological weapon, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, they're way more advanced than us. They're not interested in us.
I have biceps we're like 59 to 80.
Yeah, I took interest at 87.7.
Nice. Yeah, gold looks like it's on its way.
Yeah.
That's good trade, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
It's very safe.
Waiting for this 4 hour.
Think so? It's going to break this?
Well,
I mean, we haven't seen it. You know what? It never breaks during this hour. It always breaks at like 9 or 10 o'clock. So like in the next 2 hours, it breaks, and then it pulls all the way back into the range again. We've seen that happen for the last 2 weeks. Like every time we try and break out of this range, it never breaks out, and then it breaks out like an hour later or whatever.
Yeah, I was watching it on 5 minute and just see how it creates support, pushed up high, as it came back and created another low.
Mhm.
And kind of as soon as that finished bullish, I kind of
Yeah, I mean, you're at the top of the range now. So like I told people
That's
earlier,
it.
you were in the trade from
So I
1586.
shouldn't buy now, no?
Yeah, go on, knock yourself out.
I mean, if this candle rockets up, I mean, it becomes a gladiator candle. I mean, I would not have expected that, but I mean, I did call 1590, and we did basically reach 1589. So I think it's safe to say to be, in that structure.
I just like how that 15-minute pulled all the way back nearly to that bottom.
Yes.
But
Yes.
87, sorry, and that kind of whoa, what happened there?
That's gold.
Yeah.
That was kind of out of nowhere. That was.
What in the world?
Top
This
of the
is
range.
why I knew I should have entered. I would have been in a nice drawdown. Instant 15 pip drawdowns in a minute.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pass that. I think it's gonna resist it.
Well, we've got the 4-hour candle close, so even if it closes above and then the next stick pulls right back down, it will be a 4-hour fake out or like a booby trap.
I think
and then you might get that big candle Ted was talking about that rip back down, and then that would be your scalp sells to 83.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I was just looking at the 4-hour. That was kind of what was helping.
Yeah, see what I mean, Monty, though, about buying on the 4-hour body that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, for sure. It's sensible.
I think GJ has a little bit more of a possibility of going up than gold at this point.
Yes, I agree with that.
G-CAD has been great all morning.
Yeah.
Pound CAD has just been phenomenal. I've got a buy from 170 150 on G-CAD. I have no idea fundamentally why G-CAD is moving. I just know that from a technical point of view, it was at support on the daily, so I bought, and it's gone crazy bullish. Does anyone have any perspective with regards to why the pound and Canadian dollars is moving like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Raja.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, you go first. I want to
Okay. Well, pound is strong and CAD is weak. That's what I was going to say.
Let's look at the Chinese indicator.
I lied to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Pound strong, CAD weak, go up.
Well, no, there's also something that David was talking about with crude oil. The price of crude oil has been dropping, so that puts pressure on the Canadian dollar. So that was all. I was going to add that.
And on top of that, with the pound.
Come on now.
Got all these flying.
Yeah, just come on. Sorry, I'm getting excited again. My bad.
Go.
Now I need my magic keys to be turned on. God damn it.
Yeah, so easy. You press close half.
Yeah, it would have been a good test, man. I need to go buy
Wow.
batteries.
Look at gold. Gold has passed that. Holy cow.
Yeah, gold's going to keep running here.
I got it, Ryan.
I thought I was going to resist that.
Yeah, if you
Nice.
gold's going to keep on running. Come on.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Now we're in the 1590 range.
Yeah,
I think to Ryan's point, the 1593 level becomes very key now because we're still early in the New York session and we're getting this huge rip up. I think if you see on the hourly now, the hourly is breaking out. So when we go back to drawing our magic boxes on the hourly, this breakout now is happening here. So you might find that we're going to consolidate a bit here and then drive up to there.
Yeah, that's what we discussed this morning, 90 to 93, if we can get above 90 and then hold a bit. But yes, typical, it comes back just deep enough, mate, to catch you out. It's a shame. But
yeah, that's all right.
It's the way it is, isn't it? But
I'm just happy that like the 1590 played it out because I mean that was really what my target was. Like
it's
last
nice to know
night,
it's right.
yeah, and that's the big thing. So like if you're trading and you get stopped out of positions, you know, the fact that your analysis plays out as well also gives you confidence that hey, next time, you know, like if you don't get stopped out, you're gonna still continue to run. Like not to look at a stop out and be like, oh, you know, like that sucks. But it's
what
like
I could have had.
it's more the fact that hey, your analysis played out fully. It's like next time, just be mindful of the stop. That's all. Like I mean, I could have moved my stop just a little bit further down, but I wanted to grab 60 pips on that move. So like that's why I had my stop at like 60 pips. Like I could have dropped it down to 20 pips and I would have been still in the trade, no problem.
Oh yeah.
but it was just because I wanted a certain percentage to grab. I just kept it at 60 pips, and it just literally tapped my stop, and then it pulled up again. Like, I think we dropped to 1586.41. My stop was at 1586.58.
Oh, it's so close, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so close.
But I mean, I knew there was a huge possibility that I was going to get stopped. Like, I wasn't surprised that I got stopped there, just because of the fact that, you know, where Raja has his gray box. I mean, basically, at any given point, any of those wicks could have just chopped you out. Like, any of this area, like, you know, even to this area here too, right? Like, I could have been this whole area that I could have been stopped out at. So I was okay.
Yeah, with all them on that level, it was coming. To be fair, you could tell
that's right.
Kind of what was coming.
And I'm happy with the trade that I took, like the 2 trades that I took. I mean, like it did enough damage for the week that, you know, I'm okay. And I literally got probably the maximum amount of that move going to 1590.
So when did you say you added the second position? Was that
I had one position at 1580.45, and then I got I had one position at 1581. So I added a position at 1581, and then Tashawn and I were talking, like I told you earlier, we were talking last night. I closed the 1581 position at 1586.
Yes.
And then I let the other one keep running.
Yeah, it's good work, man.
I closed all of my positions at 1586.70.
Yeah.
And I had position from 1580.
Oh,
that's good trades, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And now I mean, I think if this hourly or this 30-minute closes bullish on gold above this, I think we can expect, like, you know what? I think it might even go parabolic, but I don't even know. I hope it goes parabolic. Because it's broken. If you look at it from like, look at it on a daily. On the daily, there's nothing to the left apart from a giant wick.
Yes. Well, that was my overall target. Like, if you're in trades with gold right now, your overall target on the daily should be about 1595. That should be your target. That's an easily achievable target based on market structure. The issue becomes when we get to 1595, what happens at that point? Like, are we going to drive through to 1600 because we're right in that zone, and then the market just gets swelled up in that? Or are we going to reject that hard and drop back down to like 1585, 1586 again?
Yeah.
But if you look at the monthly, the monthly has collected all of that liquidity.
Yes.
And now the candle is actually even just beginning to form. So that also poses some thoughts.
Yeah, we've still got a week though. That's the thing I'm worried
That's
about.
the other thing too, is like, you know, this weekly wick here, I think your weekly wick will get to 1580 or 1595, 1596, and then it'll pull back a bit, and then next week will be the final drive all the way up.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, so just watch how it reacts around 1595.
Yeah. That's what I think. The last week, it's not going to push all this week and all next week. I'll be very surprised.
It's going to drive up.
Yes.
Yeah, this is good right now.
Gold's a bulldozer right now.
It is. People selling.
Yeah, I hope my buy stop gets activated here soon.
People selling gold. I love it.
For G card, my TP is basically going to be 174.570. So, no one's got a G card shout out. Oh yeah, they have. Yeah, so. Because if you look on the daily, this daily candle, this current daily candle hit support at 71,950, and we're at a resistance right now. But I believe that today will continue bullish because the pound's so strong. So if it does that, sky's the limit.
Dude, that's a good day.
Holy
I'm glad I didn't trade yesterday.
Yeah, that's a good move here on gold.
Holy cow.
I'm glad I took it when I did. That's made enough good today. And I didn't get to use magic keys. It's even worse. Damn it.
Yeah, I just closed here, gold.
Yeah, I'm going to close a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the 4 hour. I'm going to wait for the retest on the 1 hour. So I'm not touching anything at the minute.
1590 target hit. Tashawn and I win from 2 weeks ago. I was telling them earlier, Tashawn, we were in for like 1555, just pissing ourselves because we're like, man, it's gonna go to 1590.
Yeah, we've been waiting for 1590 for like 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah.
You know, I think I got a recorded stream from 2 Mondays ago that said that too. Just to be in the same ballpark. Well, I think it was actually, we were looking at 1540 to 50. I think it was about that level.
Yeah, because
I think that was the same thing.
We were at 1558, 1555, and we're like, man, 1590 is going to be the target.
Yeah.
And it did come right through.
It was nice.
So it's good. So yeah, if you've taken buys on gold, I mean, it was an easy win. As soon as we broke above that level, it's nice.
I would say there's been a lot of possibilities like that. The way it's played out, the way it's stepped up, has been pretty good to get in. So it's been a few days where it's been a bit awkward, but.
What's this? Pricing range, entry, stop loss over here. Yeah, looks good. Oh,
excuse me.
Bless somebody.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's Corona time.
No,
Corona time.
Oh wow.
Gorillas can't catch coronavirus.
1591.
Yeah, man, 93 target. That's what I've got.
Did you buy gold? Yeah, I bought it at 1589.20 once it was breaking that high. Closed at like 10, 12 pips.
Did you leave one or did you close it all, dude?
No, I closed everything.
Okay, man.
Now someone's gonna say, "Oh, I thought you were done for the day."
Yeah,
it's your
well,
money.
You've seen the opportunity and you're skilled enough.
It's your money. You're not allowed to do that. It's your money. So.
Alright, what's this chart here? Go long over here and go up over there. Perfect. Go long at 142.922.
Oh man.
Man, why did I close?
Trust yourself, dude. Trust yourself.
Yeah, no, I did. I closed because I was in the bottom of the 4 hour and the bottom of the 1 hour.
Yeah, to be fair, that's decent.
Yeah, so I was happy with what I had.
So I was only at 87 and 877, I think.
Yeah, and I was actually only meant to close a percentage, and I closed the whole thing by accident. I was like, oh shit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so I just accepted it. I was like, oh, well.
Alright, this chart here, this chart is good because it says high, lower, lower, high. I mean, nice.
I do need the magic keys. I got a PC and I couldn't get the thing to work, so I gave up on the PC. But I might go again because my Mac just don't cut it. I tried using. Has anyone got a GoPro in here?
Nah, man.
No. I tried editing some software on the GoPro. My Mac won't even do it because it's 4K at 60 frames a second. I couldn't even edit the software on the Mac. Like, it was just lagging. Gold's flying.
Yeah, it's interesting. Gold is just really just going crazy up. But the indices are stuck. They're not moving.
Yeah, but when you came on, you said that the indices were dropping.
They are. They dropped and then they stopped. Nice. So it is dropping. They're just not moving now.
I think they're waiting for NYC Open to drop more.
It could be.
Yeah, they're waiting for gold to 1593. 15 pips away.
Wow.
Next
what
stop,
candle.
1592. Someone said, I hate gold. Well, if you held...
Those.
Yeah.
Did he sell it? That's why?
Yeah, I'll just be not selling right now.
Yeah, so if people are thinking now, like, so how do you figure out what our next plausible moves are going to be in that area, right? So this is your education moment. Is okay. We basically have this breakout candle, right? We can all agree that that's a breakout. We can agree that this was the range. So now what you have to do is you have to say to yourself, okay, I can't really buy on this hourly candle or this 30-minute candle. It makes no sense because we don't know where the candle's going to finish. The issue then becomes is we have to now figure out what we think is going to happen on this side over here in the future, right? So when we look left, we look at the past for information, and then when we go right, we're looking for future information. What you can do to gather future information is figure out, the tendencies of gold. What we've seen here is we've seen consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, right? So if we know that that's the case, we then have to anticipate that there's going to be a moment of consolidation over in this level here. We don't know exactly where that level is, and that's where what you would do is you would go up to your hour time frame or your 4-hour time frame and look to see where there would be a major level that we would return to. So if we go into the hour time frame, we don't really see anything. If you go into the 4-hour time frame, now looking left, now you can start to see, okay, where's our anticipated target? Our anticipated target is probably around 1593, 1594 because we broke above this target here and we basically got out of this zone over here. So now knowing that, once we get to 1593, 1594, that's where you can probably anticipate that there's going to be a little bit of consolidation or potentially a pullback down in here, and you can see where we've created a zone over here which then matches up with this level over here. So when you have that and you're able to identify those ideas, it'll help you understand, okay, with momentum the target should be probably over here. It might not be exact, but at least, if you get to around over here 1593 or 1592, you could say, okay, probably I want to close at that point. And don't be surprised, and we've seen this countless times, gold hits this target here and then it rips down. And then you're like, oh, well, why isn't it going up anymore? It's because it basically filled this and it mirrored this candle. Because what we're doing right now with momentum is this candle here is basically being mirrored right over here. So when you think about it logically, where would our target end? It would probably end at that level. And that would be a safe region for you to say, okay, you know what? We've probably exhausted that move at that point. And when you start doing that more times than not, you're going to be more comfortable with your trades because you're not going to set yourself up where you're like, oh, I think the target's 1598. 1598 on the 4-hour chart doesn't really make sense because where do we have structure to support 1598 at this point on this chart? We don't. We have structure to support 1592, 1593. Now, if you're trying to get into a trade over here at 1592, 1593 saying, oh, I think we're going to continue up, you're playing with fire because we don't know what's going to happen above this level. And that's the mistake a lot of traders make is, they see this huge bull run and it's like, well, where would you have gotten entry? Your entry should have been down over here. Like that's where you should be looking for entry. You shouldn't be looking for entry up over here. You're already late to the party at that point because we're only moving up another $3. It's going to be very, very tight for you to get $3. And the other thing is too, where are you placed in your stops for it to be a profitable trade? And I think that's sort of the keys here when you start to look at things is where does it make the most sense? If we know that this area here is going to break as an example, right? And we know that this is our target over here. Now, what you can do is you can map out on the smaller time frames, on the 15-minute or the 30-minute, you can then map out, a stop loss probably over here, and then, your ultimate take profit is at this point over here. Where now, when we're in this area here, how do you map that out unless you believe that we're going to come back to this level here, and then you can take entries again to go further up? That's the issue that you wrestle with, and that's the challenge as a trader to be like, well, I've missed the move, which you've missed the move, but now what am I waiting for at this point?
So I'd find it hard to add in entries at this point. Not this second, I mean, just as we're so high up.
Yeah, just in general, because we don't have a support for it yet.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, if we're going to come back
for me, my
to where we So I was just going to say, when we come back to this level we just were at anyway, you know, you've got potential there for it to come back anyway. So I wouldn't be interested at that point. But,
yeah. I'd be taking mine the 4-hour body again Monty, which on the 1 hour will be a 1 hour retest. But again, it would be tight because realistically, when you want those higher targets, if you flick to the 4 hour, you really need gold to be retesting the 73.
Oh yeah,
lower. There's no for market structure because at the minute it's creating a high. The high low it hasn't really created. The one it created at the 82 wasn't really a good enough pullback for me. Where it's a clear market structure, that's just like a minor pullback.
Yeah, daily looks evil now.
Yeah, like I said, the monthly, you might get a touch of that top wick at the 1611, and then it might react back down before the end of the month. So it's only we're on 90 now, $20 move.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got 10 days to do a $20. Well, a week to do a $20 move, which it could touch that and come back. Especially with CPI tomorrow, CPI could do that for you.
The euro has hit lows.
Yeah, I was looking at EJ. We were talking about it last week about selling it from a certain level. It's flew today.
Holy cow!
If you flick to the 1 minute now on gold's struggling on the 1 minute. Which is good because now you're going to pull back a little bit and have the wick on the 4 hour. So at least you've got a little bit of a wick on the H4.
All right, someone sent a chart over here. Let's take a look here. Ooh, GG is falling.
Yeah, I liked your life is bullish as well, Rakeel.
Oh.
Yesterday. When I look left, my life is bullish.
What's this? Yeah, looks good. You have a giant take profit, so yeah, it looks good. What's this? Is this a valid trade? Yeah, this is a valid trade. You caught the sells and, you know, now it's good.
Xbox time.
All right, Theo is sending the same charts over and over again. I don't know what Theo wants us to say for this chart, but this chart, the take profit is absolute trash. I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you why it's trash. Because I mean, you're ignoring this area here, the support here, you're ignoring this zone here, you're ignoring this zone right over here, and then you're ignoring this wick right over here, and your take profit is all the way down over there. Makes no fucking sense at all. Makes no sense. You know,
Yeah,
so when you...
Sorry,
yeah.
go on.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, because it's just based on a fib. That's it. You're looking at the indicator more than structure.
Yeah, it just makes no sense at all. I mean, I just don't even know, man. You wanted my feedback? That's my feedback. But you're ignoring all these zones, you know, and I don't know anyone who had sent a chart with a very aggressive take profit like that and then sent the chart again that they've held it all the way through.
Yeah, I like to know, Rakeel, when people do that, who's actually held it. Now, you show me that and I will be impressed.
Yeah.
Like the numbers I give out, I've held. So when I'm saying 93, I'm holding. Or like I can show you the holds. But I'm not going to put a post up with a 200 pip take profit because I know I'm never holding.
Yeah.
Never.
It's very hard too with GJ as a structure because we've talked about GJ and like fundamentally GJ took a beating last year, right? So if we look holistically at the bigger picture, GJ got punished last year. Like it was at 127 at one point.
Yeah.
And we recovered a lot So, I mean, like I said, we have to go to 147 before we drop back down to like 141. I mean, that's just my opinion, but it just makes sense in my mind because we have to restore balance back in that currency. And a lot of people aren't looking at the bigger picture of what happened to that currency pair previously, and they get trapped in these small moves. It's a similar thing with gold, right? People were trying to sell gold last week. And I just cringe because it's like think logically through the chart. There's no structure to support a sell. Like the one daily candle is not a sell with gold, and people think that one daily candle is market structure, and it's not. It's just if you think of the bigger picture, it's people taking more orders to drive the market higher. That's why the market's pressure is going down, because it's going to drive the market higher in that respect. And then all you have to do is look to the left to see where the possible targets are that make sense. I mean, granted, you have minor pullbacks here and there, which makes sense because you need the market to breathe a bit, but don't get caught in the hype of like, well, gold's going to drop to 1550. It's like, think to yourself logically, and anytime you're taking a trade, think to yourself, what are the overall ideas with that currency pair or with that economy to support my bias? Does 141 on the pound make sense? If yes, what are the reasons? And if you can't Google, or you can't go to a news report, or you can't look at fundamental information that supports that right away, you're playing with fire. Just think logically, because you as a trader, your job is not to be in first place. Your job as a trader is to be in second place. Let the institutions, let all the smart money move the market, and you copy them. It's like you're writing a big test right now, and everybody's in the same room, and all the smart people are showing their papers and they're showing their answers. Just copy their answers. It's okay. Like nobody's ever gonna be mad at you for taking easy trades, for taking easy moves, for making easy money. Nobody will ever be mad at you for that, and you have nothing to prove to anybody by trying to hold these massive gains, calling tops, calling bottoms. Don't do that to yourself. Don't let your ego run your trading. Finish in second place and just keep finishing in second place. Just keep taking that second place ribbon. That's all you got to do. Don't worry about finishing first. Don't worry about catching the ultimate high. Don't catch the ultimate low. Don't worry about that. Just finish in second. You're going to make money finishing in second place. You're going to make money finishing in third place. Don't put pressure on yourself that you don't need, because you're not a professional. You're not working at Bloomberg. You're not working at Goldman Sachs. You're sitting in your room, in your basement, wherever you're sitting, and you're just trying to make a few extra dollars every day to build your account. If you're getting pressured from the CEO of Goldman Sachs to call tops and bottoms, then we can talk, and you know what, we'll help you a little bit more. But your idea right now is just finishing second and just doing that over and over again. And as long as you finish in second place, you're always going to have money coming into your trading account.
I think the key word there is, like you said, is your ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop the ego and you'll be all right.
Yeah, you know what? Like, take profit when you feel comfortable. Like, if you're not comfortable holding a trade, close the trade. It's okay. Take the profit off the table so you put it in your pocket. Don't be a hero. Honestly, I don't care how big a lot size you trade, how long you hold your trade for. My biggest care for the average person who I don't know, the average random person on YouTube or internet or whatever, is did you make the best possible decision with the information you had at the time? If you're constantly making the best possible decisions at the time that you are looking at a chart in a trade, any given time, you have completed and you have validated yourself as a trader, because you've taken into account information, you've analyzed it, you've gone through a thought process, and you've either closed the trade, opened the trade, moved the stop loss, hit it, move the take profit. You have completed a process. That's what I care about more, is people making correct decisions for what makes sense to them. I don't care how long you hold a trade. I don't care that you can get 300 pips on gold and I get 20. That I'm not in that competition. That doesn't faze me. you're a better trader than me. You can swing trade. You can grab more pips. Congratulations. What I care about is, did you make the right process, or did you make the correct decision based on your trading style, and did it make sense for you? That's where, you know, Raja's here on the stream, Chris is here, you know, now we've got David, you know, from Pilot Traders. We care more about the process. We don't care about how much money you made or how much money you're making. That's irrelevant. It's, are you making correct decisions on a daily basis, and are you improving your thought process? That's the whole benefit of what we do every morning. It's not about the money. You know what? You go take out a loan for $10 million or $20 million, trade up the yin yang. You'll make 50 million in a month. You'll beat everybody. You'll be the winner. But at the end of the day, who did you win against? Random strangers on the internet. Like, what do you do? You know, like, nobody's sitting at my house right now saying, hey, you know, guess what, Ted? I just made more money. Yeah, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me to sit there and say, well, I did better than you. It's like, okay, great. Like, I mean, I didn't realize I was a benchmark. Like, it's just, at the end of the day, can you pay your bills? Can you put food on your table? Can you go out to eat? Can you hang out with your friends? Can you do what you want to do? If you're not there yet, you'll get there. But if you're there, then you've achieved your success. You don't have to worry about anybody else's success at that point.
Yeah, you're just competing with your own mind.
Yeah, man. That's true.
Yeah, man. To be fair, you probably win most pips on gold anyway, Ted.
Well, last week, I mean, I always look at like what I did last week. So last week, let me see if I can pull up my last week. All right, let's look from the 9th to the 15th. The 9th to the 15th, all my trades were between 20 and 40 pips. Like, my best trade was 40 pips. My worst trade I took a loss on, but I had 4 trades that I only got less than 2 pips on, 2 to 3 pips. I had 6 pips between 9 and 20 pips, 6 trades between 9 and 20 pips, and then 1 trade which was 40 pips. That was my best one. And then now when I go this week, when we had better market structure, my worst trade was 9 pips, and my best trade was 60 pips.
Yeah, nice.
So it's such a big difference, right? But it's being able to stay in the game, and you know,
throwing it away for fun.
That's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
It's going through that and doing that on a daily basis. But like, knowing that you're in the 3rd week of the month, and what we talked about last week, you know, the meat of the market, right? So now we're right in there. The structure makes sense. If you look at the weekly structure we had last week, we had that rejection from that bottom zone at 1572. That's a huge rejection for us. And all we had to do is, we knew we were going to fill up to basically that previous weekly candle at 1593. So we know that the weekly candle is driving up to that point. So if you visualize that at the beginning of the week, and as soon as you have that weekly candle go bullish, you're off to the races.
Yeah, that's it. Just patience, that's all.
I was upset this week because I had to close 2 trades because I was getting on the plane, and I got off the plane, looked at them, and I was like, no way. I would have been nice. But I was like, oh well. Like, I literally put my phone down and I was like, right, I'm family time. I'm not even looking at it. I just want to spend time with my son.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that. I've got all month.
And sometimes, you know, it's like what Ted was saying. Sometimes you just, you know, because you're just emotionally not there for the day, or you're just not seeing it, or you're just whatever it is going with you, you know, to have a no trade day is okay. You don't have to trade every day.
That's it. Yesterday was the same. I didn't even interest me at all yesterday. I did the stream so we could do the chat work and stuff and have a chit chat, but I didn't even have my terminal open to make a trade.
Yeah, because you know what? If you're not feeling it, then don't do it.
Nah, definitely.
You know what I mean? It's okay not to have a no trade day. But people freak out. I got to make money today. I got to make money today. I got to make money today. And that's a perfect formula to lose money.
Take the good with the bad. Look at the days where you only wanted 10 pips and you got 20. Look at the days where you only wanted 20 and you got 40.
So you could have not traded yesterday and took one gold trade today. And
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's a comment on the YouTube that says scalping can be classed as gambling. I've traded for over 20 years, and a lot of people have said, trading is like gambling. Anything you do is a risk in life. Trading is risky to the point, but it's a calculated risk. If you have the knowledge, if you understand the fundamentals, if you understand the technicals, it's not really gambling. It's knowledge, and you put in your money to work. And sometimes you lose a few pips, you make others, but as long as you're profitable at the end of the month, you're not gambling. You're making money. It's an investment, right? So you got to look at it that way.
Is a gamble.
Everything's a gamble.
Calculated risk, gamble, whatever you want to call it. I would call it a calculated risk.
Yeah.
The issue why scalping is so hard for people is because the amount of money that you make scalping is insignificant, more than likely, to people's accounts. And they don't understand that with scalping, there may only be one good move for the session, but because they've only made $5 or $6 out of $100 account, it's not, psychologically, it's not helping them. And that's why everyone resorts to swing trading, which there's nothing wrong with swing trading, because you can do a swing trade for $20, $30, $40. But the thing is, what you also can look at with scalping is you can turn a scalp into a swing trade. I did that last night. I took a scalp at 1580 and I ran it up to 1586. I was looking for 1590, 1591 as my target. I just happened to get stopped out. I don't know what the definition of swing trading is in terms of what people are looking for pips, but I mean, for me, anything over 100 pips or 120 pips is a really good trade. And especially with gold, the way the market structure is set up with gold, that it whipsaws a lot, it's also very difficult to swing gold. I mean, you'd be taking, if you looked at gold earlier, 2 weeks ago, your stop loss would have had to be at 1533 if you took entries at 1540, and your take profit would be just coming up now at 1594, almost 1600. So you would be in this trade for 3 weeks holding gold, where the average person who scalps gold could probably get the same results taking a positive risk to reward scalp and then seeing if it'll run a little bit harder. That's all.
Yeah, gold is a very difficult market to swing trade. I agree with you on that one, Ted. I mean, I'll swing trade crude oil because crude oil has more of a fundamental, but I will scalp gold and I will scalp the indices. Otherwise, it gets the moves are just too harsh.
They are. And it just comes from experience and the mindset of, if you're going to trade gold, like I tell people, any trade with gold, if you get over 10 or 20 pips on gold, you've done a good trade. You don't need to try and grab 50 or 60 pips, because a lot of times when you grab 50 or 60 pips, if you hold it long enough, it retraces all the way back and then it starts up again. So, I mean, at this point, just take profit, leave the chart, come back, and when it pulls back, take it again. And just keep taking it again. There's no right or wrong way to trade. I think people are just upset because when you scalp, you're only going to get a small move, and that's only a small percentage gain for your account. But you have to get used to that. And if you're not used to it, then swing trade. There's nothing wrong with that either.
That's correct.
I promote both styles of trading. I think swing trading's good. I think scalping's good. Scalping, you just need to be a little bit more disciplined in understanding that, hey, I'm not going to catch a $100 move. I'm going to catch maybe $2 or $3. I have to be satisfied with that. And yeah, some days you're going to catch a move where it pulls all the way up or pulls all the way down, and you catch that nice move that turns into a swing trade. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think that a lot of people get really boxed in with ideas, and they read on the internet that this is the only way you can do something. If you look at all the best people in the world at doing what they do, they've always changed the dynamic and they've reinvented things. I always look at poker as a base. When you look at poker before 2006, if you watch the World Series of Poker, you just have to go on YouTube. 2006, every time someone raised, they had the best hand. Now you go to 2020 or even past 2006, 2009, 2008, people were raising with any hand because they understood that hey, these people are thinking that I only have the best hand. So dynamics change, and as people evolve and as people get a little bit more comfortable and they start plotting their own chart or their own journey, the dynamics shift, and what was deemed impossible before now becomes possible just with information and with more, back testing. There's been more people working on the charts. Information flows more freely. So you have to take into account that trading will always evolve. There will always be new ideas. There's always the base idea. Don't get me wrong. There's always going to be that base information, but there's always going to be evolutions and different parts of trading that will expand and people will be able to take advantage of that weren't available 10 or 20 years ago.
Yeah, there's a lot more information, a lot more technology nowadays than it was 10 years ago to be able to trade. So that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. It depends on how you look at it. Some people take too much information and they overanalyze it, and then they get into the move too late. So.
So when I talk about GJ here, this level here at 143.040.050 is a very strong level, because if you look on the 4-hour candles rejected it before yesterday during New York, and this 4-hour candle, even though it spiked through it, it closed below that level again. So on the 1 hour, this was resistance, there was support here, there was like wicks over here too. So this is a strong level. So I think this move up was a fake out. So now this level holds as like, okay, once we break above here, then we're going to continue moving up. But till then, even it's like 9 a.m., so this is a time where I start closing the charts down. Where's gold at? Oh, wow, 1592.
Yeah, man, still pushing. This son of a bitch. Too early, fuck.
Wow.
Kerwin, how do you think I feel? I was
no, I know, man, but fuck sakes, man. I was expecting this move, to me, it was more like a fake out of the range. So I was expecting the next 30-minute candle to come back below to retest that area and didn't.
Yeah. So now if Raja goes back to gold, we can now start to look at market structure. This would be your new zone here. And as we drive up to here, you might find that this will play up to here, down to here, and bounce around now. But you can see how fast we're moving to 1593, 1594, which was the long-term target.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're gonna tap maybe 1594 in the next 15-minute candles.
Yes.
Fuck's sakes, I was expecting a pullback, man.
Yeah, I think you'll still get the pullback.
To be honest, sucks.
There's no pullback. The pullback was where Chris had it over here. That's where the pullback was.
Yeah.
Or Raja has it right over here. That's where the pullback was.
My target was 1593, so my next entry will be 1588.89.
Yeah.
Wow. So
tomorrow's gonna be another day.
Yep.
We're about 10 minutes away, or 15 minutes away from the Open, New York. I'm expecting the indices to kind of fall today. So maybe that's why everybody's going into gold, and that's why it's moving up. That's on the fundamental basis, not on the technical.
Yeah, it makes sense. What you might find is this drive up will happen for the next 15 minutes, like Kerwin says. As the equity market opens, you'll get a brief pullback, and then probably the 10 a.m., 11 a.m. candles, you'll get that full move as the market digests and starts to shift from equities to commodities.
Yeah.
I'm just happy we called gold to 1593.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ryan hit it on the head. So now it's
I think we all give different breakdowns and how we've seen it.
And
Different
that's the
interpretations.
best part. That's the best part, because you have like 3 or 4 people looking at the same ideas but giving different interpretations, and based on that, you can come to a plausible idea where like Ryan was in this for a while, but it's like the confidence is there to be like, hey, we're just gonna hold.
Yeah, I'll just make coffee. I don't think that helped, but that's not a
And
bad thing to come
that
back
is a
to.
key thing.
God damn.
Whenever he makes coffee, the market moves.
Oh, do we get 90? Oh, we haven't quite got 93 yet.
Yeah, we tapped into it.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Come on, there's no need for that. No need for that, is there?
Excellent there.
In fact, on mine it is 92.98. Come on, mate.
Close enough, bro.
I got 92.90 actually on my charts, but I mean.
Let me see what mine is. I'm going to check mine. I've got 8. Oh, yeah, I've got 90.
Oh, yeah. Go on, Ryan. Don't know what he's on about. He's a micro pip away.
No clue. That's a good trade from this morning, dude.
Well, yeah, no, the good thing with everyone is like everyone puts in their point of view, and you could say something and I could not quite understand how you've said it. Someone else could say the same thing kind of thing in a different way, and I'm like, that makes sense.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
I always say that. I tell people that all the time. I'm never offended if someone hates what I'm talking about, because you're not supposed to resonate with everybody. You're supposed to find somebody that resonates with you and that makes the most sense. Like I think there's a disconnect where you can like somebody as a person, but you don't have to agree with what they're saying or like their mythology. But you can still be. It's like almost like when I deal with people in business, is I can be friends with people and never do business with them because they're not good business people, and I can work with people in business and never be friends with them because they would never be a good friend for me. Mm-hmm. And I think once you start to separate those notions, life becomes so much easier, because I listen to people on the stream all day that I don't agree with what they're saying, but it doesn't mean that they're a bad trader. It just means it doesn't resonate with me. And I'm fine with that.
It depends how it's put across as well. I think you can be constructive with an argument against maybe something that someone else is doing. It doesn't have to mean you're right, they're wrong, that type of thing. But you put a decent point across, then it's welcome, I think. It's always good to see different viewpoints.
It's always okay. I mean, you can always agree to disagree, right?
Exactly that. Exactly that. And in this game, that happens a lot.
Oh, trust me. I sit here. But that's the good part about it. But the other thing is too, the more charts you watch, the more analysis you read, the more discussion you have, the more you're able to formulate your own ideas and also be confident in your ideas. And I think a lot of people miss that. A lot of people think that having discussions with somebody that you don't agree with is a negative thing. No, it's a positive thing, because you're able to reaffirm your ideas because someone's challenging you and saying, hey, I don't agree with you, not in a bad way, but just, I'm challenging you to give me a better perspective on why you think this is going the way that it's going. Yeah. And then that helps your trading a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And also
but
that
this
could
is how
change
I see
their
it.
mind. That could change their mind when they don't agree and they challenge you, and then you give them another breakdown. They could say, yeah, do you know what? I see where you're coming from. I agree. Or I see where you're coming from. I still disagree.
Yeah, there might be something you've not picked up on, or something you've not taken into consideration, which sometimes happens after someone says something. I think, oh, yeah, maybe something I might look at slightly differently, or it's all good.
I think a lot of people in there have respect. the people that talk, so that helps. A lot of
Yeah.
people in this group are respectful.
Oh, definitely. I
That
mean,
are
that's
active on
that's
the
the
stream.
that's the foundation. Is the foundation is built on respect with people. Like I've always talked to everybody. I've started from the get go. Like I'm a student. Like if you're showing me something, like I remember when Chris was talking about EG when we first started talking last year. He was talking about EG. He taught me a hell of a lot, and I didn't even understand it. But now that really gave me a base for when I trade GJ, just because now I know EG is sort of, like the base pair that, sort of moves the market because you have the euro versus the pound. But before that, I never traded EG. I never understood that, but it was the conversations and discussions every day that allowed me to learn more about that. I mean, do I trade it now? Once in a while, but I mean, mainly with gold, we've been getting a lot better moves. But it's good to be able to learn about that and then respect each other to understand those things. And I appreciate that. I appreciate people trying to teach me something because I'm always a student. Like I like learning in that respect because you can't have an ego in this game. Like it'll just crush you. Like I learn from people that are younger than me. It's almost like if you look at Daniel Negreanu as a poker player, he's in his 40s, late 40s. He went and got coaching from guys in his 20s because he realized the game had evolved and he was not up to par playing the young kids anymore because he didn't understand what they were doing. So he's like, hey, I need to learn. Now he's still the top guy, one of the top guys in the game because of that. It's like if you humble yourself and you realize that there's going to be younger kids that are going to have a lot more intelligence than you, they're going to learn faster than you. Man, I soak that stuff up. That's why I promote people to get better at trading and be better than what I do because it allows me to learn more.
That's a good point. I agree. Always be a student.
Yeah, that's it.
93, Chris.
Yeah, I'll give it, bro. Damn it, we're out here.
Wow, gold reached that target over there.
Yeah, that's good.
That's crazy.
Well done, gentlemen.
Looking left.
We're right in that zone.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what happens now, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried about now.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't do anything apart from keep going, to be fair. I don't want... Not that I don't... Well, you had 65 pips earlier or whatever it was. So
yeah. No, I mean, this would have added a bunch more to my position.
Yeah, damn right. For the sake of 1 pip or whatever it was.
89 retest, and then on the retest back of 93 to break, then a new high create, then a retest of 93. And that was perfect for me. That's a dream. That's what dreams are made of. And strippers.
Here, always a student reminds me of my IML days. Well, I mean, you learned that you shouldn't be an IML then, I guess. I don't know. If it breaks the current range, it should have no issues reaching 1600. Look at the massive daily. Yeah, I mean, there's a very good reason now. We're still relatively early in the day that we could go to 1600. I mean, I don't see an issue with that.
No, but then I would be looking for good CPI tomorrow to push it back down because it can't just keep going up.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about EG, Ted. I've been keeping an eye on it recently again because it's getting to a point I was pretty interested in. But I was looking at levels at about 81. Just from where it is. I don't know if you've looked at it at all recently, but just keeping an eye on it. I mean, I've kind of got a level set at like 83 on the dot, near enough. Looking at it on the daily, you've got a lot to the left. Big potential area, I think.
Sorry, Chris, can you have it to the micro pick on that, please? 83 is not good enough.
Hang on, I'll say 81049 if you want to record it.
Another decimal point, please.
Not today. No, we'll see. It's an interesting level anyway. It's just something I've been keeping an eye on. I haven't traded it at all, but it's something that I would keep my eye on.
I can remember I looked at EJ once, and last year sometime, and it was just going and going and going and going. So I took the trade, and then it went the opposite way. I was like, mate, for months it's been in this trend.
Yeah. It's a pretty interesting level now, to be fair. It's just definitely one to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Woohoo, nice. Look at that. Come on, back down to 88.
I mean, if I was back in my swing trading days, it's something I'd be considering, but...
Yeah, you've got to have patience for that.
Oh, yeah. That's the only way you can kind of trade that chart, I think, to be fair. just a bit more longer term view.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's tough, I think.
I think it is all down to personality, because I've done a few different things, and like even to one point where I'm obsessed with it and I'm not coming off the charts. And then I spoke to, it was when I joined Forex Family. In fact, I had a one-to-one with rakeel, and he was saying like, why do you want to trade? And one of them was freedom, like, to take my son to school and pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, but if you're in the charts all day, you're not getting that. And I was like,